Section 4. Language as a prison key. Following this painful moment of realization, M. Hamel starts speaking passionately about the French language itself. He calls it the most beautiful language in the world, the clearest, the most logical. He urges the students and the villagers to guard it among themselves and to never, ever forget it. And then, he delivers this incredibly profound historical metaphor. He says, when a people are enslaved, as long as they hold fast to their language, it is as if they had the key to their prison. Think about that for a second. A native language isn't just some tool for communication, it's the ultimate weapon for resistance, for holding on to your identity, and for maintaining your freedom. When M. Hamel then reads out their grammar lesson, Franz actually listens carefully for the very first time, and he's amazed that he understands everything perfectly. It's almost as if M. Hamel is trying to pour every ounce of his knowledge into their heads in one final desperate stroke. After grammar, they move on to a writing lesson. M. Hamel has actually prepared brand new notebooks for the class, and written on them in this beautiful round hand are the words, France, Alsace, France, Alsace. The focus in that room is absolute. It's so quiet. Literally, the only thing you can hear is the scratching of pens on paper. Even when beetles fly right into the room, nobody pays any attention. Even the tiniest children are tracing their fish hooks with absolute devotion. They are pouring their deep emotional connections straight into their native language, treating those very lines as if they were French themselves. As they're working away in silence, Franz hears pigeons cooing softly up on the roof, and this prompts a really deep realization from him. He thinks, will they make them sing in German, even the pigeons? This thought is just brilliant. It highlights the sheer absurdity of imperial control. Sure, a conquering army can force a new curriculum, they can absolutely take over a territory, but they cannot fundamentally change the nature of the people or the environment. It completely exposes the limits of trying to erase an identity by brute force. Section 5. The final silent farewell. While the students are writing, Franz looks up. He sees M. Hamel sitting completely motionless in his chair. He's just gazing at one thing and then another, almost like he's trying to mentally photograph exactly how everything looks in this little room he's called home for 40 years. Right overhead, they can hear trunks being packed. They have to leave the country tomorrow. But despite this immense, quiet heartbreak, M. Hamel courageously pushes through, hearing every single lesson to the very end. The older villagers in the back are crying, their voices trembling as they spell out the letters. And then the church clock strikes 12, the Angelus rings, and at that exact moment, the trumpets of the returning Prussian soldiers sound right under their classroom windows. The harsh reality of their defeat has literally arrived at their doorstep. M. Hamel stands up. He looks incredibly pale, incredibly tall. He tries to speak. He says, my friends, I, but his voice just totally fails him. Something chokes him with emotion. Unable to get another word out, he turns to the blackboard, he grabs a piece of chalk, and pressing with all his remaining strength, he writes as large as he possibly can, Vive la France. Then he stops, leans his head against the wall, and without a word, he just makes a gesture with his hand. School is dismissed. You may go. It is this heartbreaking, final, powerful act of defiance. So, what should we take away from all of this? Ultimately, this story teaches us that we often don't truly value what we have until it is completely stripped away from us. Our language is a profound, irreplaceable part of who we are. So, I want to leave you with a provocative question to really think about. What are your linguistic human rights? And how do you protect the language that defines your identity? Thank you so much for exploring this timeless explainer with me. And please, never take your ability to learn or your freedom to speak for granted.